Welcome to the Straightforward Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown results, 205 Live results, and also some other quick results from and some links for other TV shows as well. Well, happy birthdays go to, for the week of August the 20th episode for SmackDown. August 20th birthdays: Tori, 1964, Byron Saxton, 1981, Nick Miller, 1985, Walter, 1987. August 21st birthdays: Nathan Jones, 1969, Trent Seven, 1981, Eve, 1984, and Rowe of the War Raiders, Viking Raiders, that's Raymond Rowe, 1984. Marshal von Erich, show a link showing his new baby boy, and on Twitter saying, God is good, everybody. Meet my son, Solomon Knox von Erich, Atkinson. Also, on Twitter, his Kevin von Erich also retweeted that same thing. David Arquette and Jerry the King Lawler continue their storyline from the Northeast Wrestling's Prison Break pay-per-view. The finish saw Jerry the King Lawler and his tag team partner Keith Youngblood defeat the team of David Arquette and King Brian Anthony to retain the NEW Tag Team Championships at this link. After the match, King Brian turned on David Arquette and began attacking him for losing the match. Jerry the King Lawler came to Arquette's aid with a Stone Cold Stunner onto King Brian. Before Brian could fall to the mat, David Arquette nailed him with a diamond cutter. Afterwards, Lawler and Arquette shook hands. Also on the show, courtesy of WrestleZone, Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn defeated Insanely Rude, RJ Rude and Zane Bernardo, and A-Boy and his Dinosaur, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus. Also in Impact, Penelope Ford defeated Tasha Steelz. Wrecking Ball Legursky defeats Mike Verna. Kaz XL, formerly known as Big Cass, defeated Thrill Ride. Enzo Amore defeated Brian Pillman Jr. What? Both of them together? Darby Allin defeated Hale Collins to retain the NEW Championship. Matt Taven defeated JT Dunn to retain the Ring of Honor World Championship. John Moxley defeated Pentagon Jr. Moxley, I believe, ripped his mask off during the match or after the match. Thanks to Tim Rose tweeting on Twitter. Corey Graves and Carmella were not at this week's, supposedly not at this week's Raw, but Carmella was, as the two of them are vacationing in Jamaica. Only Carmella shown at this link where she was really at. So where was Corey Graves at? He wasn't in the picture, and that's only Carmella's Instagram. Ronda Rousey suffered a nasty injury on the set of Fox's 911 series. According to TWG, Rousey reportedly broke two of her fingers, at the showing of this link. Two of her fingers, you can see the middle one, the bird finger, while filming scenes in Mexico last week. The incident happened when Rousey was supposed to slam a door during a dramatic action moment, and it looked totally broken. It looks more than deflected with a point like my ex-wife, bend her finger straight like that. It looks like that with blood coming out of it. She was a little over exuberant and slammed the door on her finger, as TMZ was told. The middle finger suffered the worst of the injury, as the tendon was nearly severed. She also fractured the tip of her ring finger. Rousey was then taken by ambulance to a San Diego hospital for treatment. Her middle finger was reportedly repaired with a bolt and screw. Rousey then reportedly never broke character during the incident and returned to work the next day. Also, last week, Rousey signed on a new role for the hit First Responders drama from Fox. She stars as firefighter Lena Bosco, a character that was described as a stoic and fearless member of the Los Angeles Fire Department, Station Number 136, who leaps into action to save lives when a disaster hits. The third season of 911 will premiere Monday on September 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. Rousey remains signed to a WWE member. Any member of the Raw roster is currently taking time away from the company. She left after WrestleMania 35 and has said that was taking time off to expand her family with husband Travis Brown. Hadn't got pregnant yet. WWE posted a storyline medical update on SmackDown Tag Team Champions Xaviar Woods after he and his partner in the New Day were taken up by Randy Orton in the Revival on last night's Raw. And you can see a video of the match and the post-match angle above this link. Here it is link. Post-show update on Woods noted. SmackDown Tag Team Champion Xaviar Woods of the New Day was rushed to a local medical facility for further examination after being attacked by Revival and Randy Orton on Monday Night Raw. Stay with WWE's digital platforms as the story develops. Nothing more on SmackDown. Any updates on that? Okay. During today's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, which was recorded before WWE officially announced NXT to USA Network move, Dave Meltzer discussed some of the rumored financial numbers for the deal. According to Wrestling Observer Radio, WWE is now getting paid $50 million for or more per year for NXT, only on USA Network. Fightful Select reports that at this point, NXT superstars have not been notified about how their paychecks will change at all. This has to be a question that eventually needs to be addressed, considering the fact that WWE is making nearly $1 million per episode. Well, you got $50 million a year. You divide it down to how many episodes a week? There's 52 weeks in a year, so there you go. NXT superstars are expected to get a bump in pay, but it won't be much. Later on, reported that NXT superstars probably won't be seeing any increase in their paychecks for at least 6 months. Bayley was outspoken about many things within WWE before they were able to happen for the female superstars. She wanted a women's Royal Rumble, tag team titles, and so forth. Now, if she gets her way, we would really have interesting tournament coming our way, such as Queen of the Ring. KSFI Morning Show recently spoke to Bayley about ongoing King of the Ring tournament. She is all for what? A Queen of the Ring tournament. Sounds pretty good for her too. When you're a fan like me, who has watched for years, it was something that was taken away. It was like, dang, what was one of the coolest shows? There's so much pressure on all the guys. There's so much history to it. The fact that they brought it back was a dream come true for a lot of those guys. So why not? We kind of want a Queen of the Ring. If you guys could make that happen, I would love that. We'll have to wait and see if WWE will eventually arrange a Queen of the Ring tournament for the female superstars. Since Charlotte Flair is already called the Queen, and look who else is called the Queen of Queens, and that's Trish Stratus. It might be a hard fight for that title within WWE, but who says you can't have more than one queen around? Ring of Honor episode 412 can be found at this link. WWE's first Netflix film I discussed it a couple of weeks ago called The Main Event. Officially finished up shooting in Vancouver, Canada. According to PW Insider, the film follows a 10-year-old boy who gets bullied but one day hopes to become a pro wrestler. NXT stars Baba Tunde and Keith Lee have bigger roles in the film. Otis, Sheamus, The Miz, Beth Phoenix, Mauro Ronaldo, and Kobe Kingston are also in the movie, which is set to debut in 2020. In this video link here, Lacey Evans roasts some of her fans that come out to her meet and greet. And in the caption, Evans wrote, "Nasties. Lost individuals who lack motivation and proper etiquette. People who need role models like me to fix what they have so badly messed up in their pitiful lives. Meet and greets help me to just do that. And don't forget to go to that link." Like I said in the video, MLW Fusion weekly show from the August 17th episode at this link. These are full episodes that I post. Well, at this link here, coming up, Carmella, rtruth, and Drake Maverick, with Xaviar Woods looking on, playing a game of Wheel of Fortune from the upupdowndown channel that Xaviar Woods runs. And this was recorded before WWE SummerSlam, so rtruth was still champion at the time of the video. Go to that link. Heath Slater reached out to the iconic R&B singer Mariah Carey recently to show her a video of himself singing and dancing with his daughter to her hit song, "Always Be My Baby." Heath began the exchange by posting his video with the caption, "Just dancing with my baby." Mariah Carey, "We should do a duet." And Carey would later respond to the video with a message of her own, saying, "All me and them kids singing along right now." Slater has been under contract with WWE since December 2006. He developed the WWE's through WWE's Deep South Wrestling territory until eventually making his debut as a member of the Nexus in 2010. And Deep South Wrestling has been gone through Shreveport within that thing as well. And Deep South was ran by Jeremy Young, who is now going under the character of the Cowboy Jeremy Young. And thanks to Phenomenal Glow contributing to the article for that. And I did not get the video of Slater as singing and dancing with his daughter. Dark match before SmackDown on Twitter. Shown on Twitter was advertising Ali versus Samoa Joe, and the results from that saw Ali defeating Samoa Joe in singles match. And thanks to Denny Sanford, okay, never mind. The SmackDown is from Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Which SmackDown opened up from the Premier Center in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Tom Phillips welcomes us to the show, joined in by David Otunga and Byron Saxon. Otunga is filling in for Corey Graves, who is on vacation. We go right to the ring. Out comes Randy Orton to a pop. We see the King of the Ring, throne, robe, crown, scepter on stage. Orton hits the ring, and as the announcers hype tonight's show. We see what Orton and the Revival did to New Day on last night's Raw. Tom says WWE Champion Kofi Kingston is not here tonight because he's recovering from Raw, which he was there, as you will later see in the dark match main event. Orton takes the mic and says, unlike Kofi, he is not a liar and he speaks the truth. Orton says Kofi ran from a fight in front of his family at SummerSlam. Why? Because Kofi is stupid. Fans boo and Orton tells them to shut up. Orton says he gave Kofi the chance to prove himself last week and he failed. For his troubles, he received 2 RKOs. Why? Because Kofi is stupid. Orton says with the help from the Revival, they decimated the New Day last night on Raw. That's the best part was holding Kofi down to make him watch as they shattered the leg of SmackDown Tag Team Champion Xaviar Wood. Why? Because Kofi is stupid. Orton says Kofi fails every time he gives him a chance to prove himself. Orton says this proves the power of positivity can be crushed out of nowhere. What are the three most destructive letters in sports entertainment? RKO. Justin was trying to say that. New Day's music hits and Orton waits for a fight, but no one comes out. Orton turns around to a big trouble in paradise from Kofi. See, I told you it was there. Kofi gets hyped up as the fan chant his name. Kofi says, we're going to find out who's out the Super One tonight. Kofi brings up a steel chair into the ring and wraps it around Orton's leg. Kofi slaps Orton around and talks more trash, saying he's doing this for Woods. Kofi goes to the top to jump on the chair, but in comes Dash Wilder. Kofi comes down from the top and kicks Dash at the ropes and sends him to the floor. Scott Dawson runs in, but Kofi drops him. Dash runs back in, but takes a steel chair shot from Kofi. Kofi sends Dash back out and hits Dawson with a chair shot over the back. Dawson rolls to the floor. Let's fan cheer Kofi on. New Day's music starts back up. As Kofi stands tall with a chair, let's fan chanting his name. We now have to talk about Roman Reigns' mystery attacker storyline. Send us to a video package showing the events leading up to tonight. Motongo says a lawyer friend of his told him that Daniel Bryan and Rowan really have done extensive research into the incident and have uncovered significant information. Tom says we should know more later tonight. King of the Ring first round match, Andrade versus Apollo Crews. We go to the ring for the first SmackDown match in the 2019 King of the Ring tournament as Greg Hamilton does the ring introductions. Andrade was out first with Zelina Vega. We go to commercial. Back for the break. And announcers talk about the big NXT USA Network announcement from earlier, as they did on Raw as well. Shane McMahon is in the office when Kevin Owens knocks on the door and comes in. Owens asked if Shane wanted to see him, and he did. Shane wanted to make sure Owens wasn't going to earn himself an even higher fine than last week. Owens says he had a bad week last week. He went home to his family and realized how bad this is. He talks about how he and Shane came from different backgrounds, but $100,000 is a large amount of money to him. What impacts his family? Owens goes on and says he knows Shane is a great father, but man to man, father to father, he wishes Shane would reconsider the fine. Shane thinks about it and says he will take it under consideration. We go back to the ring. Out comes Apollo Crews as Andrade and Vega. Oh, wait. As the bell rings, the Crews charges with a big clothesline for a close 2 count. Crews looks to keep the momentum going, but Andrade drops Crews face first into the corner. Follows up with running knees for a pin attempt. Crews blocks a hammerlock DDT, rolls Andrade up for a 2 count. More back and forth now. Andrade ends up on the apron, but he applies a submission on the ropes, focusing on the left arm. The hold is broken, and Andrade goes to the top. Andrade flies, but Crews drop kicks him out of the air as Vega looks unconcerned. Andrade goes to the floor for a breather. Crews goes face first off the apron. Andrade flies back to the floor for a head scissor, but Crews catches him in mid-move. Andrade covers that and sends Crews face first into steel ring steps. We go to commercial as Extreme splits for action with the voice of the commercial. Back for the break. Andrade flies with a crossbody, but Crews catches him. Andrade fights out of an elbow. They both go down after Crews delivers a knee to the gut. Vega looks worried at ringside. More back and forth. Crews mounts momentum and gets hyped up for gets the crowd hyped up. Crews with more offense and an Olympic slam for a 2 count. Andrade fights Crews off with elbows. Andrade slides out of a move and Crews runs into a big boot in the corner. Andrade goes to the top, but Crews jumps up with a big kick for a pop. They tangle some more on the mat. Andrade with a drop toe hold into the turnbuckles. Vega tries to rally for Andrade. Andrade goes for the running knees in the corner, but Crews moves once again. Andrade blocks another Olympic slam attempt and kicks Crews in the face. Crews comes back with a kick and an enziguri. Crews in with a standing shooting star press for another close 2 count. Vega ends up interfering and slowing Crews down from the floor. Andrade takes advantage and levels Cruz. Andrade with a hammerlock DDT in the middle of the ring for the pin to advance to the second round. After the match, Andrade stands tall as music hits. As Vega joins him to celebrate, we go to replays. Tom shows us an updated King of the Ring bracket, and Andrade will face the winner of Shelton Benjamin versus Chad Gable. For next week, Andrade and Vega head to the back. We see Daniel Bryan and Rowan backstage, walking with a man they have dressed in all black with his face covered. They bring him into an interrogation-like room. Bryan sits the man down and says they know what he did, and tonight the whole world will find out. Bryan warns the mystery man to stay in his chair until then, or he will be very sorry. Then we get 24/7 champion Elias walking backstage and playing his guitar. Someone catches his eye, and it's referee John Cone in disguise. Elias takes Cone's hat off and asks where he is. Cone points to a production case. Who is he? rtruth, or is it Drake Maverick? Elias approaches it, and Drake Maverick pops out and says, "Surprise!" as Elias grabs him by the throat. Elias tells him to read a letter that he pulled out of his pocket. That says the 24/7 title rules have been suspended for the entirety of the night, so Elias can focus on his King of the Ring match with Kevin Owens. The letter was signed by Shane McMahon. Supposedly, they didn't show the letter. Elias stuffs Drake back into the case and shuts the lid. He walks off as Drake hangs out of the case, saying he just wants to consummate his marriage. Still to come, Charlotte Flair appears on A Moment of Bliss with the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. As we go to commercial. Back to the break, it's time for another edition of A Moment of Bliss. On the stage, out comes Women's Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Bliss welcomes us to the show as they pose with the titles. Bliss says they have been humbled by this title reign, but they don't want people to think they've changed. A Moment of Bliss will always welcome the less fortunate and give a platform to those who don't have titles. But tonight, a little different, because her guest requested to be on the show. Bliss asks everyone to give it up for the Queen and the 9-time champion as Charlotte Flair makes her way out. Flair looks at her seat and says, "This seems like the wrong chair." She points to the King of the Ring throne and says, "That's more like it." She takes a seat with Bliss anyways. Bliss says the recent SummerSlam match with the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus was like passing of the torch. Flair says she took the torch. Flair goes on about proving she's the queen of all eras and the face of SmackDown Women's Division. Bliss says some people would say the face is the champion. Currently, Bayley. Flair says people say a lot of things, but facts are that Bayley might be champion, but Flair is the brand. She says WWE doesn't send Bayley to red carpet event with her side ponytail and high fives. Flair says she's marketable, but Bayley is not, which is why they send her to do premieres and media, because she is SmackDown. Fans respond with some woos and some boos. Flair says Bayley is an afterthought, which is why the title and the division are afterthoughts right now. The music interrupts. Out comes Bayley. Bayley tells Flair to stop with the same bragging and insults. Then we hear over and over. She says it sounds like a bunch of excuses because at the end of the day, I'm the champion, which means she is better than Flair, and that just eats Flair up inside. Flair asks Bayley if she even knows how people feel about her and the title. The crowd pops. Flair tells her not to take her word for it, but go back and look what everyone was talking about at SummerSlam. Flair versus Trish, not Bayley versus Ember Moon. Flair says Bayley has devalued the title, and now she has to clean up her mess when she beats her at Clash of Champions. Bayley says if that's a challenge, she accepts, and that can't wait to do everyone a favor by shutting Flair's mouth up. Bayley says she forgot one more thing that's very important. She shoves Flair's stool over and she falls to the ground. Bayley looks down at Flair and smiles before walking off. Buddy Murphy backstage preparing when Roman Reigns walks in. Reigns says they can do it like they did a few weeks ago, or they can talk man to man. Reigns wants to know who Murphy is lying to, him or Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. Murphy is pretty sure he saw Rowan. Reigns needs to know more than pretty sure. They have more words, and Reigns says if he has to, he will come back and beat Murphy's butt again. As Reigns walks off. Daniel Bryan versus Buddy Murphy was up next. We go to the ring. Out comes Daniel Bryan with Eric Rowan. Back to commercial. Back for the ring. Out comes Buddy Murphy. Bryan takes the mic and taunts Murphy for changing his mind on what he previously claims. Bryan says he and Rowan will make their reveal tonight and show Buddy also had something to do with it. The bell rings and Bryan turns around to a big flying knee from Murphy for a close 2 count. Murphy takes Bryan to the corner and unloads as the referee backs him off. Bryan goes out and back in, then back up for a breather. Bryan turns around on Murphy and chops away. Bryan with kicks in the corner now. Murphy fights back with a strike of his own. Bryan looks to be biting Murphy in the corner now as the referee warns him. Bryan with a kick to the back and some trash talking as Rowan looks on. Bryan slaps Murphy around and keeps calling him a liar. Murphy tries to fight up and out, but Bryan drops him again. Bryan takes Murphy back to the corner for some chops. Murphy turns it right back around, unloads with chops of his own. They run the ropes and Murphy clotheslines Bryan over the top to the floor. Murphy runs the ropes and leaps out with a big dive, taking Bryan back down. Back to commercial. Back to the ring. Murphy drops Bryan with a big drop kick. Murphy fights Bryan off and drops him with a kick from the apron. Murphy goes to the top and delivers double knees for a close 2 count in the middle of the ring. More back and forth. Now as Bryan takes Murphy to the mat and applies a low bell lock in the middle of the ring. Murphy resists and reaches for the bottom rope, but Bryan tightens it and repositions to turn it into the rings of Saturn. Murphy gets his arm free, but Bryan goes back to the low bell lock. Murphy finally breaks a hold by getting his foot on the bottom rope. Fan chant, let's go, buddy. Now, Bryan with kicks to the chest while Murphy is on his knees. Bryan yells at Murphy to stay down. Murphy ducks a kick and jumps up with a big shot of his own. Bryan turns Murphy upside down in the tree of woe and kicks away in the corner. Bryan runs and hits a low drop kick to the face. Bryan takes Murphy back to the top and hits a belly-to-belly superplex. Murphy still kicks out of 2 and Bryan is surprised. Bryan yells at Murphy for being a liar while delivering more kicks and offense in the corner. He does his yes kicks, or no kicks, or whatever his kicks are called now. That's a yes movement stop, so it's a no kicks. Murphy counters in the corner and Bryan goes to the top, delivers a running sit-down powerbomb for a close 2 count. They trade shots in the middle ring. Murphy unloads with a forearm. Moore strikes the counters between the two. Murphy ducks a move and backsides Bryan for a 2 count. Murphy with more kicks and knees. And a brain buster for a close 2 counts. Bryan gets his foot on the bottom rope to break the hold, or break the pinfall. Rowan jumps on the apron to make sure the referee saw the foot. Rowan remains on the apron, staring at Murphy. Murphy turns his attention to Rowan, and Bryan rolls him up from behind. Murphy super kicks Rowan off the apron, and Bryan rolls him up again. Murphy comes right back and delivers a big knee to Bryan, and then nails Murphy's Law for the big pin and the win, and the match of the night. From my point of view, that won the match of the night. With a surprise win, after the match, Murphy hits the ramp to stand tall when the music plays, with a big smile on his face as he's leaving the arena. Bryan looks on for the mat as Rowan checks on him. Fan chant for Murphy as we go to replays. So the come segment, Elias versus Owens in a King of the Ring match. We see Mystery Man sitting backstage in the room with Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan put him in. Revival walking backstage. Settling their earlier chair shots from Kofi Kingston, we go to commercial. Back to the ring, we see how Buddy Murphy just defeated Daniel Bryan. Murphy's backstage now with Kayla Braxton. She goes on and introduces him, but jumps out of the way as Bryan and Eric attack him again. Rowan destroys Murphy around the backstage area as Bryan yells at him for being trash. not belonging and deserving what is happening. Officials come in to break things up, checking on Murphy and Brian as Roe went back off. Murphy is down and out and hurt. Revival versus Heavy Machinery. We go to ring. Out comes the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. They're selling the earlier chair shots from Kobe as we see replays from the segment. Dawson takes the mic and isn't happy that the fans are cheering the chair shots. He says this just proves the New Day isn't championship material. Dawson says the New Day are cowards. Dawson agrees and goes on about how Big E wasn't even man enough to show up tonight. Dawson says the Revival are now officially challenging the SmackDown Tag Team Champions to a title match at Clash of Champions. Dash goes on about how they will restore credibility to the division and that the New Day has damaged. The music interrupts. Out comes Heavy Machinery, Tucker and Otis. Dash starts off with Tucker and they go at it. Tucker ends up applying a bear hug in the middle of the ring, focusing on the taped ribs. Otis comes in and takes over. Tucker comes back in for a double suplex on Dash, but Dawson runs in. Otis decks Dawson, lifts him up for a suplex. While Tucker still has Dash up in the air for a suplex, they finally drop them at the same time and then clear the ring. Heavy Machinery standing tall as we go to commercial with split screen. Back to the ring, Dash has Tucker grounded. Revival takes turn on Tucker, keeping him down. Dawson comes off the top with an elbow, but misses. This leads to Otis getting the hot tag, still known on Dash, as fans pop. Otis with more offense on Dash, and the big splash. Fans cheer Otis as he nails the caterpillar and the elbow drop. Otis tags in Tucker. Otis scoops Dash to set up the compactor, but Dawson runs in and drop kicks him to stop the move. This leads to Dash getting the roll up on Tucker for the pin and the win. After the match, Rhonda backs up the ramp as the music plays. So the come segment, Elias versus Owens in another first round key to ring match. Kayla Braxton backstage with Chad Gable, asking about people saying the underdog in his King of the Ring match with Shelton Benjamin for next week. Gable goes on about how he's always proved people's expectations wrong. We see Benjamin poke his head out of the men's locker room behind Gable and Braxton. Benjamin takes a sign to the door and walks off. Gable says he will be the underdog once again in next week's match against Benjamin. He's heard people say King of the Ring is a great place to open eyes, so he's ready to open some eyes. Gable turns to walk into the locker room, but stops to read the sign Benjamin put up. It says, "You must be this tall to participate in the King of the Ring tournament." Gable doesn't find it funny. He enters the men's locker room and slams the door. We see the mystery man again backstage in an empty room once again. We go to the ring. Out comes the Miz for another must-see edition of Miz TV. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Tom goes over to NXT USA announcement again. We go back to the ring, and the Miz welcomes everyone to Miz TV. In his suit, Miz says tonight's guest requested time to speak, and he wants to know why. Music hits, and Miz introduces Sami Zayn. Sami says he really doesn't care about Miz or Miz TV, but needed some TV time to get things off his chest. Miz knocks Sami for his recent losses. Sami says for once, Miz is right. Sami says he's been losing matches after match, but he had an epiphany on Raw. He's been caught up in the trap that people like Miz and the parasite fans fall into. The WWE greed trap. Sami goes on about how he's always fought for causes for what's right, and he finally realized that he's better off helping people. Sami says he may be one of the greatest competitors today, but there are so many people on SmackDown who need his help. Miz asks who. Sami says one of them is ready to come out now. Entrance starts up, and we get Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura making his way out. So we get Sami Zayn helping Shinsuke Nakamura. I guess he's as his manager. Miz asks Nakamura why he would ever need to associate himself with Sami. Sami knocks Miz and brings up how Nakamura is Japanese, an artist, and a poet. And he is in pain because he can't articulate what is in his soul. Sammy understands this and says he has a bond with Nakamura that no one else could ever understand. Sammy goes on about how Nakamura and he share a bond. Sammy says, from now on, if anyone needs to talk to Nakamura, they talk to Sammy. Miz asks if he's really going to let Sammy speak for him. Nakamura puts his hand up for Miz to stop talking, and then points to Sammy for Miz to keep talking. Sammy says they're going to say it in a language that even Miz understands. Nakamura suddenly drops Miz with a kick. Nakamura unloads on Miz, and spans pop and boo. Mixed reaction from the crowd. Nakamura with more offense on Miz in the corner until Sammy pulls him off. Sammy says Nakamura did a great job. Fans boo Sammy as he stands over Miz. Sammy holds Miz and Nakamura delivers a big Kinshasa. Sammy continues running his mouth as we go to replays. Then we go to commercial with Sammy praising Nakamura in the middle ring. Back for the break, Daniel Bryan enters the room with Eric Rowan. Bryan tells the mystery man he's called for Roman Reigns and he doesn't want Reigns to find out. The mystery man seems worried. Shane McMahon backstage in his office when Kevin Owens walked in. Shane sent for him. Shane says he hasn't heard Owens apologize yet for putting his hands on a WWE official. Owens apologizes and admits he was wrong. Shane says he is reconsidering the fine. Shane goes on and says if Owens puts his hands on another official, he will be terminated right here. Owens waits for an answer, which Shane says he's not quite there yet. King of the Ring first round match, Elias versus Kevin Owens. We got a ring for tonight's second King of the Ring tournament. As WWE 24/7 champion, Elias makes his way out. He is not wearing the title, as the rules are suspended tonight. They lock up and start going at it. Elias drops Owens first and goes to work. Fans are dueling chants as Owens finally turns it around and mounts offense. Owens clotheslines Elias over the top rope to the floor. Owens runs the ropes for a dive, but Elias moves. Owens puts the brakes on and steps out to the floor, keeping control along the barrier. Elias canters and launches Owens into the barrier. As Shane is still at ringside for the match, Elias brings it back in the ring and goes back and forth. Owens with a German suplex and a cannonball to the corner. Elias still kicks out of two. The Miz interrupts. Now at this point, Shane comes to the ringside. Who will be watching the match from ringside? Owens is concerned. Back to commercial. Because you know when Shane is out there, he's going to interfere. Back to the break, Elias remains in control. Owens tries to fight out and make a comeback, but Elias drops him with a jumping knee for a 2 count. We see Shane watching from his ringside chair. Elias unloads in the corner and beats Owens down. Elias with a running knee to the face in the corner. Elias scoops Owens up for a power stab for a 2 count. Elias keeps Owens grounded, and Owens fights up and nails a huge DDT for a pop. He keeps fighting and hits a drop kick from the second rope. Owens goes on and hits a senton. Elias avoids a pop-up powerbomb and boots Owens. Owens goes to the corner, but Elias gets on his shoulders. Gets him on his shoulders. Elias drops Owens with a big powerbomb and holds it for a 2 count. And Shane applauds. Elias takes Owens to the top for a superplex, but Owens fights back. Owens sends Elias to the mat and goes for a big senton, but Elias gets his knees up and Owens lands on him. Elias charges him, but Owens sends him over the top rope to the floor. Owens then nails a cannonball from the apron to the floor. Fans pop as Owens gets hyped up on the outside. Shane ends up approaching Owens. Shane takes off a jacket to reveal a t-shirt referee jersey with the stripes shown with magic marker, permanent marker. Shane starts counting as Owens out as he gets upset. Shane enters the ring and talks to Owens. The other referee is still in the ring, allowing Elias to take him from behind. Owens, now furious, fights Elias off and he has words with Shane. Elias blocks the stunner and tries to shove Owens into Shane, but Owens puts the brakes on to avoid hitting Shane. Elias takes advantage and rolls Owens up, and Shane counts a very fast count. 3 count for the win. After the match, Elias and Shane hit up the ramp. After When Shane entered the ring, the other referee just rolled out of the ring, left the match. After the match, they headed up the ramp. Elias and Shane hit the ramp as Elias advances in the tournament. The camera quickly goes backstage to Roman Reigns entering the room with Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan, and the Mystery Man. Bryan takes off the hood and reveals an unknown bearded man who looks like Rowan. Rowan thinks it over and looks confused. Reigns and Bryan exchange looks as Reigns looks on at Rowan and then the Mystery Man a few times. SmackDown goes off the air with Reigns looking confused while the bearded Mystery Man looks terrified. Well, I told you Luke Harper came back from an injury. It's possibly him, or it could possibly be another NXT superstar making his SmackDown debut, Tommaso Ciampa, as he is also returning from an injury. 205 Live, well, that's just my guess, prediction, but who knows? My predictions probably don't mean nothing, but it's one of the two. Well, SmackDown went off the air with Reigns looking confused while the bearded Mystery Man also looking confused and also terrified. What am I going to do? 205 Live results. Cruiserweight Champion Drew Gulak opened up the show with a promo running down each member he selected for his team in tonight's main event. Captain Challenge tag bout against Ode Lorcan and his team. Gulak declares that the division belongs to him. And until that changes, he is the law. The cut to Ode Lorcan. He says that tonight his team has one goal in mind: to destroy the men in front of them. Drew Gulak, your days as Cruiserweight Champion are numbered. Growls Lorcan, ending the segment. As the 205 Live song intro starts up, Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and Aiden English welcome us to another edition of 205 Live. And there's rumors of 205 Live ending when everything goes to the show. NXT goes on live TV. Probably 205 Live just drops. They run down the history between Lorcan and Gulak and the hype main event as one of the biggest 205 in history. And it is happening right now. Ari DeVere makes his way out first, followed by Mike Kanellis. NXT's Angel Garza is out next. Reminder, this is his debut. Tony Nese and Gulak are out last. Gulak and Nese exchange some words, but they appear to be on the same page for now. Gentlemen Jack Gallagher and Akira Tozawa are first entrants out for Team Lorcan. They are followed out by Humberto Carrillo and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Lorcan is out last. All 10 superstars are in the ring. Both teams stare each other down. Brawl ensues. Team Lorcan clears the ring. Gallagher brings in 5 umbrellas, hands them to each member of his team. They all climb opposing turnbuckles. Mary Poppins dive from all 4 corners. Gulak team regroups on the outside. The match officially begins. Here we go. Team Gulak versus Team Lorcan. Captain Challenge, the elimination match. Takes up the whole show. Gulak and Lorcan begin. Tie up. Lorcan forces Gulak into the corner. Swerve tags in. He brings the champion to the mat with a wrist lock. Gulak manages to escape the hold, then lands a few strikes on Swerve in the corner. Irish whip. Swerve shows off athleticism. Head scissors from Swerve. Gulak fires right back with a shot to the gut and a power slam. Garza is in now. Swerve catches him with an arm drag. He brings in Carrillo. Commentary reminds us that Garza and Carrillo are cousins. Pace picks up. Carrillo gets Frankensteiner, but he flips out and lands on his feet. Garza rips off his pants. He baits Carrillo in and tosses him into Gulak's corner. The Hills all get their shots in. Gulak back in. Snap suplex with a pin. Only gets a 2 count. Mike Kanellis tags in. He stomps Carrillo down in the corner and then stomps Carrillo's hand. Vertical suplex from Kanellis for near fall. Team Gulak in control in the early going. Carrillo finally tags out. Akira Tozawa comes in hot. He takes out Gulak's corner. Gulak near the barricade. Tozawa with a running senton. Big pop for the crowd. Back in the ring, Tozawa connects with a missile drop kick. Kanellis gets caught when Tozawa's octopus hold. Kanellis shows Tozawa off, and he collides with Gallagher. Crossroads by Kanellis. Tozawa is eliminated. Akira Tozawa has been eliminated. As Kanellis celebrates, Gallagher nails him with a stiff headbutt. Covers by Kanellis. Mike Kanellis has been eliminated, so you're down to 4 versus 4. Mariah Kanellis, who was watching backstage, shows her disgust after her husband's elimination. Meanwhile, Gallagher and Nice go at it. During a referee distraction, DeVary pulls Gallagher down. Nice yells at his corner, saying he doesn't need their help. He gets dumped to the outside. Gallagher calls for a suicide dive, but DeVary pulls down the ropes and Gallagher tumbles hard to the ringside. He gets thrown back into Nice. Sunset driver. That's it for Gallagher. Gallagher's been eliminated. Swerve back into face Nice. Swerve chants from the crowd. Nice hits an elbow. Swerve dodges. He strings together offense, including another head scissors and a middle rope elbow to the back of Nice's neck. Kick out at 2. Swerve attempts a suplex. Nice blocks. He trips Swerve up with a running chop block. But Swerve takes back control with a moonsault as Nice comes back into the ring. Nice answers with a running elbow. He takes out Garza. He tags out, and Garza is back. Slipping blows to Swerve. Garza with a super kick. He slows the action down with a modified camel clutch. Backstage, Gallagher, Tozawa, and Brian Kendrick are arguing. Kendrick blames Gallagher for Tozawa getting eliminated. Gallagher is still upset from his matchup with Tozawa last week, claiming the only reason he lost because Kendrick knocked his foot off the rope. Kendrick said they can settle this anytime. Gallagher walks away, indicating that he's going to meet with Jake Maverick. Back inside the ring, Swerve mounts a small comeback, but Garza yanks Swerve's foot on the apron. Tosses him into the steel steps. DeVary unloads stiff strikes onto Swerve and the turnbuckle. Vicious Irish whip sends Swerve chest first into the corner. Glock tags back in and targets Swerve's wrist and arm with some joint manipulation. Garza back in, a downward stretch, and Swerve is in trouble. Somehow he hip tosses Garza to break the submission. Garza fires back with a series of chops. Swerve responds with some of his own. Super kick by Garza, lariat by Swerve. Both men are down. Nice comes in. He does the running Nice on Swerve, but Lorcan makes a blind tag. Half to Nice. He lands on his feet. It's a standing double stomp on Lorcan. Back and forth strikes from Lorcan and Nice. Sunset driver attempt. Series of counters. Another half and a half attempt. Got him. Nice is out. Nice has been eliminated. Carrillo and Garza are the legal men. Standing moonsault from Carrillo. Swerve tags back in. Double team, including a tandem super kick. Glock runs in. Swerve sends him to the apron. Drive-by kick to Garza. Double stomp to Glock. He takes out DeVary as well. Double stomp off the top. Nearly eliminates Garza, but Glock breaks up the pin with a basement drop kick. Glock legal now. Garza trips Swerve's foot. Glock takes advantage and hits the torture rack neckbreaker. Bye-bye Swerve. Isaiah Swerve has been eliminated. Only Carrillo and Lorcan left on Team Lorcan. Glock, Garza, and DeVary may remain on the other side. Garza nearly eliminates Carrillo, but the luchadors endures. DeVary tags in, neckbreaker. He locks Carrillo in a headlock. Cut backstage, Lucha Party are chatting. Calessa believes that Area DeVary is the one who attacked Grand Metallic. And next week, he's going to beat a confession out of him. Back in the ring, DeVary decapitates Carrillo with a lariat. As Glock back in, camel clutch. The champ stares right into Lorcan on the apron while he applies a hold. Team Glock take turns wearing down Carrillo. Carrillo and Garza collide, which gives Carrillo a chance to tag out. He makes a tag to Lorcan. He's hitting everything in sight. Big elbow to Glock. Double blockbuster takes out Garza and DeVary. Lorcan off the ropes. Suicide dive on the Glock. He throws the champ over the commentary table. Then pounds on DeVary at ringside. Lorcan fights off all the members of the Glock team. Glock nails him in the gut with a steel chair. Another shot, a third. Referee had seen enough. He disqualifies Glock. Glock's been eliminated. Glock, another chair shot. After being DQ'd, he plays to a chorus of boos. Cut to a commercial for tomorrow's NXT, featuring Matt Riddle taking on Killian Dane. Carrillo gets crotch dropped by Garza. DeVary and Garza double team Carrillo. Carrillo won't stay down. He takes down Garza with a springboard headbutt. Lower can has recovered and is waiting on the apron for another tag. Carmella brings him in. Big uppercut by lower can takes out DeVary. Running corner elbow, a second. DeVary is surprises him with a super kick. DeVary climbs. Purges flash misses. Half attempt misses. Hammerlock lariat misses. Lower can rolls DeVary up. Got him. DeVary has been eliminated. Just Garza left for Team Galot. Carmella goes for a signature springboard arm drag, but Garza has it scattered and uses his ropes for a pin. Referee sees it and stops counting. Carmella with a roll up, 2 count. Carmella goes to the top, flying crossbody, but Garza hits a drop kick out of nowhere. He follows up with a reverse slingshot suplex and a basement drop kick in succession. Springboard moves up, misses. Carmella with a kick for the apron. Insecurity in response from Garza. Carmella takes control. He climbs, corkscrew splash, connects. It's over. Team Lower Can defeats Team Glock in the captain challenge. Lower Can and Carmella celebrate in the ring. Commentary asks who could be Glock's next challenger, Lower Can or Carmella? That's the show, my friends. For this week's results and this week's episode of SmackDown Live saw Elias versus Kevin Owens in the main event. We also saw Buddy Murphy and Daniel Bryan and more. So what happened after SmackDown? 205 Live went off the air. Fans in attendance got to see 6-man tag action. After the show went dark, it was Roman Reigns replacing Xaviar Woods. So we got Roman Reigns teaming with New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton and the Revival. Roman and Kofi and Big E won the match to send the crowd home happy. And you got some, I'll show you a link, with photos from the match. And that will conclude my results for this week's SmackDown on 205 Live. Thanks again. Peace out. See you all in a bit.